It's time to get real this Christmas and enjoy the things that matter. I'm Michaela Clark of declutteringyou.com and I'm here to help you simplify your Christmas. Every episode, I'll be here to give you one quick, easy Christmas hack designed to help you simplify your holiday season and find the fun again. Let's go. And welcome back to another episode. Now, I love Christmas. And I must say that I love talking to people that love Christmas as much as me. One thing I must say that I think I'm going to enjoy doing at Christmas time, but I end up making it the biggest pain in the bottom for me, is gift wrapping. I'm not a real attention to detail kind of girl. I just get whatever paper's around and quickly wrap it. And the later it gets on Christmas Eve, the worse the wrapping gets. But this year, I'm on a mission to not have that happen and actually get some real joy out of wrapping these gifts and presenting them to my family and friends. Now, I was very excited to find Vivienne from the Daily Wrap, who has an amazing blog on gift wrapping. And she has come up with the 12 gift wrapping hacks for the holidays. And can I just say, this is probably one of my favourite episodes. She has some great ideas on keeping the gift wrapping job easier and creative, and some really cost-effective and personal touches that you can do. Now, one tip I learnt recently as well was with gift wrapping is I always sit on the floor and I get a sore back and I've got stuff everywhere. But you know what? Use an ironing board. What a great idea. I know it's simple, but it doesn't hurt the back. You can have it whatever height. I've also this year had an under the bed gift wrapping station, so I can pull everything out and everything's already there, the gift cards, the wrap, the scissors, the tape, to make it even easier. So I am going to conquer gift wrapping this year, and I hope you will too, with myself and Vivienne from the Daily Wrap. Enjoy. Thanks so much for joining us today, Vivienne. And firstly, I've got to ask you the Christmas question. And I need to know, have you ever given a present to someone that wasn't wrapped?
Hello to you, Michaela. And I have to say, no, I haven't.
Oh.
No, I haven't. I always find a way to wrap it, no matter where, no matter when. And it mightn't be fully wrapped, but there's always a little zhuzh around it.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'm not a big wrapper. I must say my biggest downfall at Christmas is I always leave wrapping presents to the last minute. I'm locked in my office wrapping up all the presents for the family, usually till midnight. And by the end of it, they're pretty shabbily wrapped, I must say. I go for speed, not quality. So I'm excited to have you on the show today to inspire me to put a bit more effort in this year. Even though the kids rip it off in seconds, I'm sure I could zhuzh them up a little bit, like you say.
Well, Michaela, your story is fairly familiar, people doing it at the last moment, but there are some things you can do to maybe give it that extra little touch, and that will maybe lift the dilemma of going, I've got to do it all at the last minute.
Great. Well, you've got 12 gift wrapping hacks for the holidays, so I think this is great. Let's go through, now you've got 3 key areas, so let's start.
Yes. Well, Michaela, basically gift wrapping is about the rule of threes. I love the number 3, but that's not the only reason. It's about the shape of the gift, the thing you cover the gift in, and the way you embellish it. And it's all of those things in balance, because what people tend to do is they get really loud paper, then they get a bow, then they get some sparkles, then they get this, then they get that, and they think that all of that together is going to make it look more fabulous. Whereas really it's like Coco Chanel said, like put it on, then take some pieces off and pare it back, because we can really spend too much money. I love my paper, I love my wrapping, but many of us spend more money than we need to.
Yes.
So the first thing I'm going to head into is the shape of the gift. Now, you'd remember from grade school, Michaela, that we have our irregular and our regular shapes. So the main thing about the shape of a gift is it's going to be easier if it's in a box or a rectangular prism. End of story. So if you can get something in a box, or you can keep your boxes and put it in a box, that's going to give you that beautiful look, and it will be easier to wrap, and that's why you always see boxes in pictures of Christmas wrapping. Yes. So box it, baby, I say, number 1. Either buy it in a box or save your boxes. I have 700,000 million boxes, which my husband doesn't enjoy, but it's all about the box because it's easier to do. So that's my first hack. My second one is, if you have an irregular shape, particularly if it's clothing or if it's something that doesn't have form, just put it on a piece of cardboard. So take your beautiful little T-shirt you've bought for one of your darling little ones, fold it nicely and put it on some cardboard, and then it will be easier to wrap. So it will give the gift form, because if something's floppy, it's hard to wrap.
Yes.
If it's a really odd shape, say, Michaela, you were wrapping a garden gnome or a Christmas elf, quite an unusual shape. I would actually put some bubble wrap around that so that it actually creates some form, and you wrap it so that the bubble wrap approximates a rectangular prism, and then you wrap that. It not only disguises the gift, it makes it easier to wrap.
Oh, that's such a good tip, especially with kids' gifts these days.
Absolutely.
They're the weirdest shapes.
Absolutely.
And so that would make it a lot easier. I love those too. All right. So what's the second area we need to think about?
Now, the second area is what you actually cover, what you actually wrap in. People think it's all about paper. It might not be paper, by the way. It might be fabric, or it might even be some flora, a beautiful leaf. But hack number 3, don't buy heaps of paper. Don't need to. Just buy one holiday or Christmas style pattern and a complementary colour so that you can mix and match. So if I was buying my Christmas pattern and it was that brown paper, that craft paper with red Christmas trees on it,
yes,
I'd buy one roll of that, and then I'd buy heaps of rolls of either plain brown paper, craft paper, or heaps of red paper, and then I would mix and match them.
Oh, lovely. Yes.
So I wouldn't buy a bit of this, a bit of that, bit of that, bit of that, mix and match them. It also means, and I know this wouldn't happen to you, Michaela, but it means if you cut the wrong size or something happened, you can actually tape it back together again, cover the tape where you've taped them together with a ribbon, but you can actually put bits together and use all your paper really, really conservatively and get the most out of it.
Oh,
so mix and match. Don't have 106 patterns. Doesn't work.
So don't grab them in the supermarket aisle at the last minute. You go, oh, I've got to buy some rolls.
Well, look, if you could, look, we've all done that. We've all been there. But if you can avoid that, just think a little bit ahead. And if you do grab the roll, at least get the ones that are in a complementary colour and will go with your plain craft brown paper or with your plain red. So stick to one colour palette.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And the other thing is my next hack number 4, is to choose a pattern that sort of hints of Christmas but doesn't necessarily say Merry Christmas or Merry and Bright or Hark the Herald Angels. Maybe go for a red spot, or maybe go for a red chevron, or just something that hints to Christmas, because then if you don't use it, you can actually use it all year round for other things.
Oh, yes, because I've always got half a roll left over and I stick it down near my desk somewhere, and then by about October I've had enough and it's gone.
It's gone, or it's scrunched to death.
Yes.
Yes. So my whole thing is I love beautiful paper, but I don't believe in wasting it, and I don't believe in, using more of Mother Nature than we need to. So I try to get a paper that can serve a number of purposes, and it's exactly the same with Christmas, because you can get the Christmas bit in with your embellishments. So you don't need to worry about always having dedicated Christmas paper. Use Christmas colours or Christmas hints. My next hack, Michaela, and I think I've referred to that, is keep your paper remnants. So if you're cutting a bit off the side, just keep that, fold the edges under, and you can put it round the middle of another gift.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
you can use that as a highlighter band. We call that a belly band or a highlight strip. And it really looks beautiful and as if you planned it. So don't throw away those bits of paper at the end. They can all be put to good use, or, of course, they can be joined. My next hack is, of course, you don't always have to have new paper. You could have recycled paper. You could wrap with newspaper. It looks beautiful. The black and white of newspaper with a lovely red ribbon. You could use magazines. There was a beautiful picture of some men's watches in a glossy magazine out of one of the weekend newspapers. I cut out the pictures of the watches for my husband, who loves watches, wrapped a gift in that and just put a little bow on it. It looked really great. That was straight out of a magazine.
Yes.
Love that. And here's my next one, maps. I love maps.
Yes.
And it's lovely to have a map of somewhere you've been with the recipient or with family. So just say you're going to New York. My sister's just come back from New York. Well, we all want to go to New York. But I asked her to keep the map that she got from the concierge at the front of the hotel. And now I've wrapped a whole lot of gifts for her in a New York map with matching ribbons, but maps are usually really colourful too. And so she's going to give people little gifts she bought in New York, but they're wrapped in a New York map.
Oh, I love that.
Love.
Yes,
I love. And it's a special touch both for the person giving it and for the person receiving it, and it's recycling. So I love recycled paper. Really love it. And I'll tell you, last one, recycle paper in maybe a language that's not English. So if you've been to Japan, they have beautiful, those beautiful characters. It's just lovely. And so while we're speaking of Japan, though, my next hack, wrap it in something that has another use, like a tea towel or a scarf or a tablecloth or a fabric in that beautiful Japanese style, that furoshiki, where they tie it in the fabric in a knot?
Yes.
Yum.
Yeah. The other one I like is that I've started doing is collecting the kids' paintings all year.
Yes.
Artwork and using that as wrapping paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the most beautiful thing, and I can tell you that family members, grandmas, through to godmothers, godfathers, they love it. And the little people, it's a lovely use because little people are quite prolific too, and we can't throw any of their treasures away.
Well, so it's not while they're looking. I do when they're at school, I must say.
You sneak in while they're at school, but it's a lovely way to do it. And the other thing is, if you do have little people drawings, which can be very, very creative, this comes into my next hack number 8. The drawing itself can be embellished with ribbon or twine or raffia or tinsel. So when you embellish something, you can just take your paper and you can turn it into something special by anything that will tie up. So if I had a little person's finger painting, and it might be a brush artwork of great brilliance, I'd put some twine around it, or I'd put some beautiful tinsel, and it would look fantastic.
Oh,
absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Look, big trend in embellishments this year, hack number 9, berries. Berries are big.
Right, so don't eat them.
Well, preferably not, and especially not if they're plastic.
Right, okay.
But berries, that they just look really festive and really lovely, and you can buy them in bunches, at the dollar store, the dime stores. You can buy them, and you just cut off a few little berries and put it in the middle of the ribbon. It just looks fantastic. And while we're talking botanical, it's lovely when you're embellishing something and you're tying a ribbon to pop something in there that has a scent, so some lavender or some rosemary, but at Christmas time, a little cinnamon quill, a cinnamon stick, or a vanilla pod. Yum.
Oh, I love that. I can smell it already.
Correct. And what it does is it draws another of the senses into the equation, and it really looks quite beautiful. But, of course, another form of embellishment, hack number 10, is the gift tags that you use, and how you use a gift tag, which can be the statement piece in itself. So use a very plain paper, doesn't matter, and zhuzh it up with gift tags that are in fact another gift. So you could tie in a bauble. You could tie in a cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm.
You could tie in Legos. You could tie in little cars. You could tie in a luggage tag. So there's all sorts of things you can tie into your bow or your knot. A knot's probably better for a gentleman if they don't like a flouncy bow. Just do a knot. A little bit of a stereotype there, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
And you just tie in something a little extra, and it's a gift in its own right.
Yes. I know photos are great for that as well.
Oh,
as
photos.
The gift tags, yeah.
Love photos. That's a gift that gives twice, absolutely. And the other thing is, gift tags, you can play with the proportions, so you can put really big tags on a little gift. So just say I had a beautiful photograph, but I put it on a small ring box. That actually looks lovely because you're playing with the proportions. The photo's bigger than the box, but it kind of looks gorgeous. Or vice versa, a really big gift with a tiny tag. It just draws the eye to it. So it's a fantastic way of doing that. And another thing when we're embellishing, and if we're there at midnight and we're looking for a way to zhuzh up what we're doing, is to actually write straight onto the paper. So if you had craft paper, again, I'm going for a plain paper here, you could actually in your own handwriting write in with a felt pen or with a white marker, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever, and you're using the ultimate form of personalisation.
Oh, so this isn't like that when you run out of gift tags and you quickly find a marker to write their name on it so you remember whose it is. This is actually intentionally.
Well, it's addressing both issues because who hasn't got to the 12th present realised they bought 10 gift cards? We've all done that.
Yes.
But this is being a bit more intentional, and why I go right back to the beginning, always have some plain paper, because then it looks like what you're writing on it is intentional.
Yes. Oh, I love these hacks. I'm so inspired this year. My family are going to be very impressed with my creativity.
They're going to say, Michaela, what has happened? It is a revelation to us.
Oh, we don't want to open it, they'll say. I say, great, I'll take it back then and get my money back. Just don't, no. Well, thank you so much. I absolutely love those tips. There's so many things I haven't even thought of. And a lot of them actually are not only environmentally friendly, but cost saving as well, which we all love this time of year. So we can spend more on the presents or the party dresses.
Correct.
Thanks again. I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
And to you, Michaela.
It's time to embrace a perfectly imperfect Christmas. Head over to declutteryou.com/Christmas hacks to grab a free copy of the Hack the Holidays Handbook to help you get organised, simplify, and actually enjoy your Christmas this year.